such a lovely day. If not, do understand and get that your day is going to get better once your perception and gets better. So last time where I left off at today, earlier today, I was on my way home, okay, and I told you guys that I was gonna come back on here and we was gonna do a smoothie together, right? So I'm using this, honey. I'm using the same exact ingredients, okay? Because I said, you know what? Let me use the stuff that I have, as opposed to buying stuff on top of stuff, okay? So the strawberries and banana. Let me tell you something. The strawberries and bananas combination is, I mean, it's so good. And today I had went to ShopRite after I got off the live. I had went to ShopRite and I had got some of this milk. Now, this milk, I like this milk. Okay, it's called milk. Is almond milk, is gum free, oil free, and no fillers. Okay, but if you go on the back of it, you will see that it has like four ingredients on it. So it has filtered water, organic almonds, pure organic vanilla extract made from vanilla beans, Himalayan pea salt contains almonds, okay, and is made in Canada. All right, so no gums, no dairy, no fillers, no binders, no gluten, no Corrigens. I think that's how you pronounce it. Okay, so I used to buy this milk before, when I was like doing smoothies a lot. And I like it. But the one I got, so I got two different ones. I got the vanilla, the organic vanilla, and then they have the regular almond milk. So I'm gonna just shake this up. And I gotta hit this. All right, so that's good. Let's see. And I'm just gonna put this strawberries and bananas and the smoothie I had made yesterday. I'm just gonna add this on. All right. Okay. And I think that should be good. 1 second. You know, before I blend this, one of the things I want to let you know is everything in life happens for a reason. Now, I know earlier I had said that, but I want to remind you that everything in life happens for a reason. And I absolutely love, like, I like doing Dollar Tree hauls, right? I like going around the newness and stuff like that. But to be able, and this is the beauty of being a content creator. This is the beauty of you being a creator in general, that you don't have to stick to just one thing. You get what I'm saying? And I know sometimes you may feel like, well, if I try something new, then I don't know how that's going to turn out. Well, one of the things that you have to understand is you have many gifts, okay? Many gifts. And I know we hear this saying called the jack of all trades, the master of none. And that's not even really how the saying goes, okay? That's what I heard, all right? They said that's not even how, that's not the initial, you know what I mean? That's not the real saying, okay? And sometimes you may feel like, oh, well, I don't want to do this because maybe nobody's gonna watch me, or I don't want to do this because maybe I'm not gonna make sales, or I don't want to do. And you know what's the crazy part? The crazy part is that you limit yourself. You limit yourself to just one thing when you are a creator and you are here to create. And so as long as you suppose if, just say, right, suppose you do that thing, right, this new thing, and it turns out so well. Suppose that, right? Suppose that. But if you keep on saying that you don't want to do it because You don't know how it's going to turn out. You have to take the leap out on faith. Let me tell you, if your intuition is, I am a big person when it comes to intuition. If I say you listen to your intuition before anybody, before your mama, before, I know you, some of you guys say, oh, well, my mama used to say, listen to me first. No, listen to your intuition first. Because your intuition is going to guide you. It's going to tell you. Your intuition been with you many years, many lifetimes. Okay. And you need to be able to listen to it. When it's telling you to do certain things, you need to listen and do it. The reason why a lot of times we may feel like we suffering, or we may feel like things aren't going the way they need to go, is because you're not listening. See, the ego is going to tell you to do the things the way you've been doing it. And if you listen to that, you will see that you're not growing. You will see that you in the same exact situation that you was in last year. This year, you in the same exact situation. And that is not fair to you. And you need to look at yourself and say, you know what? This is not fair to me. I am not going to continuously do this to me. And a lot of times you guys don't do it because you're scared to take the leap out on faith. You say you trust, but you really don't trust. Because you don't move. If you know that God is in you, okay, how could you believe that you can fail? If you know that God is in you, and even if you say, well, I did this thing, my business failed or whatever, I like to say that there's lessons. So in actuality, you didn't really fail because it's a lesson in that thing. And if it wasn't for you going through that and growing through that, you would not be the person that you are today. Suppose, you had a $10,000 business, not $10,000, but suppose you had a business where it failed. Right. And now you got this idea like to open up a new business, and you're like, oh no, I really don't want to do that because that business I had before, it failed. You holding the past hostage. You taking the past with you. And now you get this idea to open up another business, right? Another idea. And you just like, I don't really want to do that. And you talk yourself out of doing it. You listen to that chatter in your mind that tells you you cannot do it. And you listen to it. And you don't open up the business. And then years later, you see somebody have the same exact idea as you, and they opened up a profitable business. And that could have been you. But you took yourself out of it. You know why? Because you're going based upon logic. It has to make sense. It is not going to make sense. And if you are one of those who say it has to make sense, that's why I know you don't have faith. Because it's not going to make sense. Majority of the time, it's not going to make sense. You're not going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Things are not going to go the way you think that they ought to go. It's just not. And if you have faith, okay, then you would see, oh, I needed to go through that in order to be the person that I am today. All right, so let me pour this in here. All right, again, this is milk. Okay, so if you make smoothies or whatever it is like that, this is really good. Organic vanilla. I'm just gonna pour some, and it, like I said earlier, this has like 3 or 4 ingredients in it. It don't have any gums or anything like that, any fillers or anything. Okay, no soy or anything. All right. The greatest thing about me being a content creator. Wait, let me blend this up first. Wait. All right, so we talked about this yesterday. All right, this Justin's with honey. Delicious. Added this were really, really good. And I never did this before. Okay, I never did this. But something was like, well, I never used the Justin's honey and peanut butter, okay, together. And something was like, now I use peanut butter before in my smoothies and stuff, but when I tell you this is, in the words of JJ from Good Times, okay? I don't even know how old some of you guys are, but in the words of JJ from Good Times, okay? This is dynamite, all right? Really, really good. Chef kiss. All right. Honey, I'm picking up the milk. Ooh. You know, earlier today, and this is for the person, the people that's out there, if you experiencing, I like to say experiencing, I don't like putting labels and titles on myself, okay? But if you are experiencing anxiety, right, one of the things you have to understand is this, that you can't take yourself so serious. Okay, that's one. Two, you are not alone. You're not the only one that's experiencing it. And then three, a lot of times is you don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to mess up, right? You so hard on yourself. And then four, you have to release it. You have to release whatever it is, whatever emotions you got bottled up within you. You have to release it. You cannot keep those things, those emotions bottled up. Like earlier when I got on the live, right, to go to Dollar Tree, it was my thoughts was, they was busy this morning, okay? But when I got to the Dollar Tree, I had did a video even before I got there. And that's pretty much how, whenever I'm going through things or growing through things, what I do is I listen to a lot of personal development. And if you're a person you like, well, if you listen to a lot of personal development, do you still go through yes, you still yes, you are still going to go through things, okay? But what the personal development does is you don't stay there. You don't stay where you are. You make a decision. You know what? I'm going to give myself up into this time and then that's it. Right. And so what I tend to do is when I see some things going on with me, what I do is I listen to personal development and then I still show up. I still show up. I don't give myself no excuses. I still show up because I know me and my children deserve the best of the best. Okay, so I don't make excuses. I don't say, oh, because you know what I'm going through. Let me tell you something. I remember one day I was listening to Zig Ziglar, and he talked about like how long do you plan on staying there? Right. In one of his videos, he was saying, like, give yourself a certain amount of time to be at that place. And then by noon, you need to be past that. Right. And so in life, you got to say to yourself, how long am I going to give myself, and give yourself some time, but don't stay there. Don't just outright stay there, because when you stay there, then you start settling. Then you start making excuses. You start making it okay for you to be or experience depression. You start making it okay. You start settling for life. You start making it seem like, oh, you know what? Because I'm going through this is just what it is. No, it's not. That's not just what it is. That's what you have decided for it to be. But that's not just what it is. You have decided for it to be that way. But you can get up at any given time. Any given time you can get up. Any given time. You do not have to stay down. You do not. You make the decision. You know what? I'm going to give myself. Some people will stay in a room all day. All day. And you have to look at your life and say, is this what I want for me? Do I want my life to stay or be like this? When you have so much potential, You have so much potential within you. Unlimited potential, to be exact. And your life don't have to stay that way. Only by choosing so. And you may have been through a whole lot. But just because you've been through a whole lot, stop letting yourself off the hook. Because there's so many other people that have been through way more than you, and they still show up. So you have to ask yourself, do I really want my life to change? It's time for you to get out that room. Now, I don't know who's in the room. I just listen to my intuition, and my intuition say somebody in the room, honey. That's just what I say, okay? All right. Oh, shoot. I was about to say, I know my blender word. What in the world? Wait, hold on, child. Come on now. The devil's a lie. Wait, hold on now. What? Oh, shoot. No, that ain't it. Wait. I said the devil is a liar. Okay, I knew my blender was working. Shoot. Now I'm playing these games this good old morning. Okay. All right. So earlier when I went to the supermarket, I tell you guys all the time, right? It's always the packaging for me. And then if it has like healthy stuff in here, like I try it. Well, I buy it. So earlier, when I went to the supermarket, I had seen this. Now I think I had this before. This is Salty, I think that's how you pronounce it. Original superfood, hydration, chlorophyll, and aloe and super aid. Okay. I'm almost certain I tried this before. And then they also, oh wow, look at this. So the people that's out there, right? I just grabbed it. This is a vitamin juice, diabetic friendly. It says, or daily multivitamins, 100%. No artificial sweeteners, antioxidant power. Let me see. Oh, it has potassium in there, 150 milligrams of potassium, 2 grams of sugar, 1 gram of fiber. So fiber is the thing that's going to help you, use the bathroom. And let me see. So vitamins, oh, it talks about the vitamins and stuff. All right. So heart health, brain health, keto friendly, no sugar needed, low carb, low sugar, diet support, vegan, antioxidants, kid friendly, no caffeine, and low glycemic, I think. Now, when I purchased this today, first I said, you know what, let me just try this, right? Let me just buy this. I'm almost certain I got this from Whole Foods one day. But so this one I think is like $5 or $6, okay? And then was that one $5 or $6? And this one I think was like $3. All right. So not bad. I mean, $3 for this is really good. Really. And if you a person that I like to say experiencing diabetes or something like that, it says diabetic friendly, immune health, 7 orange calories. Okay. Don't really have oh, thank you so much, Mo. Honey, don't make me cry. Um, Peace to you, Travis. Peace to you. Peace to you, Ish. That's how you pronounce your name. I read. I read. But when I read, I listen to I keep saying it. I listen to personal development a good share of the day. And I keep rereading. So the books that I have, I don't read them once. I keep on rereading them for them to stay, like for them to, so they can impress my subconscious mind, right? Now if you're talking about like health wise, so I want to say back in before 2018, before I even went on my spiritual journey. And I don't really care for saying it because I like to say all of us are spiritual, right? Like all of us are having we say that we human and stuff like that, but I like to say we are all having a spiritual experience, and back in I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. If I could sum it up. So that's how I learned so much because it came a point in my life I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I was willing to do something thing. I'm don't do something different. So back I don't want to give I don't know the day, but it was once upon a time I was doing all of this, right? With the nutrition and listening to Dr. Sabi for hours. And I get that focus because when I was a kid, my grandmother, and I'm so grateful for my grandmother. Let me tell you, because I remember it was this show that used to come on. Some of you guys may not even know the show, but anyway, I'm gonna say it anyway. It was this show that used to come on every Saturday morning. It was called Like It Is. And I remember I did not care for that show. It wasn't that it was the show in itself, but to me it was very boring. And my grandmother would watch this show all day. I mean, I think it was on for an hour, and I thought that was the longest hour ever. And my grandmother, she used to watch the stories too, but she will always say things that just change the perspective or just change the narrative of things. And it's so funny. It's so funny how God works. I mean, it's really funny because I remember I was listening to Reverend Ike. And Reverend Ike, he was a preacher and stuff like that. And back in the day, and he talked about prosperity. And many people would say that Reverend Ike was a crook. Okay, all right. And I remember one day I was listening to Reverend Ike, and I was listening to like all the people from back in the day. And I listened to a lot of the people like Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar, he passed on. Bob Proctor, my mentor, okay, he passed on. Jim Rohn, he passed on. So all of them mainly Reverend Ike passed on. All of them mainly passed on, but that's where I go. I keep listening to them. Dr. Miles Monroe. But anywho, I remember one day I was listening to Reverend Ike, and my mother was like, "Oh, who are you listening to?" And I told her, and this was like after I was sick and tired, and I was like, you know what, I want change like yesterday. I experienced depression before, and that's what I'm saying. This is what pushed me to this. Okay, so you gotta be grateful. Even let me tell you something. It's a universal law called law of gender. To everything that appears to be bad, there is something that's good. And you may feel right now like, oh my goodness, there's no good to this. Well, if you focus on it not being any good, that's exactly what you're going to continuously get, because that's where your focus goes. So energy grows where your focus goes, where your attention goes. So if you are focusing nothing on bad problems, you saying, oh well, I'm going through this, and you telling everybody about what you're going through, and you keep talking about it, that's gonna keep on showing up for you. So and that's why I keep listening to the personal development. Some people listen to stuff and say, oh well, I got it. I listened to it one time and that's it. I listen to this stuff over and over and over again. I read the books over and over and over again. And at times I may not want to do it, but I still do it. And this is what keeps me going. This is what keeps me going. This is what keeps me going with doing the videos, the content and stuff like that. That's like my secret. This is what keeps me going. When people say stuff in the comments, I don't pay attention to it. I still show up because I know, and this is again from the books, from the books. Because I know when you get to know yourself, you know why people do exactly what they do. But you got to be willing to get to know yourself. You got to be willing. All right. So I hope that answered it. Okay, so I'm gonna just take this. And I told you guys, okay, be a fancy pantsy mancy, okay? You can put your smoothie in this, this wine glass. It don't have to be in no mason jar, okay? Let me tell you, you are a creator, all right? You get to create whatever it is you want to create. And it's nobody else's business what you create or how you do it. People gonna say, oh, you do it wrong. You're doing it. Why are you putting it in there like that? Because you want to. Because you want to, in the words of Tabitha Brown, because it is your business. But when I tell you this is good, okay, it gives you the illusion that you're drinking, I like a pina colada. Okay. Now I ain't no drunk, okay, but I do like me a pina colada every now and then, okay, all right, but it gives you that illusion, like, ooh, got my drink, okay, all right. The best thing about me being a content creator is stuff like this, and I'm gonna share why. So I went to the supermarket earlier, right? And this is like the best thing about me being a content creator, because I get to come home and cook, right? Not saying that all the time I'm up for this, but I get to cook. So we got some stewed chicken right here with some peppers and onions, and then also we have some string beans, and these are fresh string beans with some Petalooga bacon. Oh my goodness! If you guys have not tried Petalooga bacon, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what you guys on. Okay, and then some white rice. So this is the phenomenal thing about me being a content creator. But I remember once upon a time when when you working for somebody and you first get the job, you so excited because maybe you've been there to work for a while, and you like, oh, this is it, this job. Now I'm gonna be able to shop. Now I'm gonna be able to do these things that I wanted to do, and you excited, right? But then it comes a point in time where so you get sick of that job and you be looking for ways to get unemployment, or you feel like there's something else to you that you're supposed to be doing. Well, that's how I used to feel. I used to feel that way. I used to feel that way. And I knew there was something more to me than working for someone else. I didn't quite know what it was, but I was sick and tired. And I just kept asking, right? I just kept making this statement. I know I came here for something. And at that time, I want to say my definition of God was in the sky. Okay. And I remember I would have my epiphanies in the bathroom and I would just keep on saying it. You know, when it's dark in the bathroom and you just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I would say, I know I came here for something better than this. The shopping, it was not, the shopping was not going to substitute what I was going through. The shopping, it wasn't working any longer. You know how some people they vice is drugs or alcohol, and you get to a point you like this, it just don't work no more. Well, that's how I felt with the shopping. I couldn't use the shopping as a bandage no more. And I remember when you ask, the answer shall be revealed to you. Now, if you listening, let me tell you something. You're gonna have to do something that's gonna put you out of your comfort zone. But if you sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're gonna take those steps that you need to take. And I remember I always would be a person that seeked information. Sometimes I would use the information to, step away from my reality because I didn't want to face it. But I always used the information to, I was always an information junkie. And not saying my grandmother was an information junkie, but my grandmother would watch, so much stuff, like educational stuff. And I remember I got to the point where as though my brother from my mother, he was into, he was a Muslim. He is a Muslim. And he would talk about Louis Farrakhan and, stuff like that. And then I tried being, a Muslim. Well, I wouldn't say I was really a Muslim because I didn't take my Shahada or anything. But I remember he would talk about Louis Farrakhan and I tried it. And, it's so funny because you can say, God, show me if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I remember before all of that, I remember I was going to therapy. And my therapist at the time, I went to her, I just was, telling her everything, what was going on with me. And my therapist was even sick of it. At that time, I don't go to therapy no more. I go within, okay? But I remember, and I'm not telling nobody not to go to therapy. You got to do what works for you because you know why? Because this is your journey. And your journey is not going to look like anyone else's journey. Your journey is unique. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Because you are one of a kind. All right? Shapely divine. And so I remember, my therapist, she was like, oh, Dina, when you get like this, she was like, what do you do? And I was like, I got information, like I got a history and stuff like that. And sometimes that can be the issue because if you constantly keep going backwards is a book that I absolutely love, Psycho-Cybernetics, that talks about this. Like if you keep on reliving the things in a book, it says your failures, then you're going to keep on recreating them. because that's where your attention is going. No matter how much you say you want to succeed, no matter how much you say you want to win, if you keep going back there, okay, in order for you to keep living in the past, you got to go back to the past and bring the past into the now moment, okay? Because there is only one moment, and that's the now moment. But if you keep going back to the past, you're gonna bring the past to the now moment. And so the therapist, she said whatever. So then I said, you know what? I don't think this is working for me. You know, the Muslim thing. Okay. I wasn't no Muslim, okay, but I was listening to Farrakhan a lot. Okay. The way I listened to personal development, that's how I was listening to Farrakhan back in the day. Right. And then certain things will occur, certain things will happen. And I would say, why is it that I am attracting, you know, certain types of people? I didn't know none of this. I didn't know that if you keep on focusing on certain things, like, oh, for instance, they, you know, what the white people did, what the white men did, I didn't know that you was going to keep on attracting it. I just was using it as, you know, to escape my reality. And I was looking for something that was going to help me. Right. And so one night it was snowing, and me and my oldest son was together. And at times I will also listen to, you know, like the conscious community, Young Pharaoh, and, you know, all of them. But this was before I even knew who Young Pharaoh and stuff was. But I remember one night me and my son was together. And I was driving, and it was snowing, and we was like in this town. This town was really, really nice. And I remember they was talking about Hollywood and, you know, stuff like that. And oftentimes when people pay attention to that stuff, it's going to lead you away from yourself. It's going to bring you down a rabbit hole. It is going to distract you. Not only will it distract you, but is you're not going to be focused on yourself. And a lot of times people pay attention to that is because they're not focused on themselves. If I'm focusing on what's going on in Hollywood, then chances are I'm not even focusing on my goals or me becoming the best version of myself. So one night, me and my oldest son, we together, and it's snowing. And I remember this video came on, and they was talking about the people in the industry in Hollywood and stuff like that. Well, my oldest son and I, we was scared to come over. I think my oldest son at that time, he probably was about 15. I want to say like 15 or 16. No, probably 15. And we was, I never forget this day. I was just driving. I just was driving because that's how I would clear my mind. It's like a form of therapy for me just drive out. And I was gonna come upstairs and just stay. And when I pulled up to my apartment, we had seen the lights was on. And we was a little afraid. So I was like, was those lights on? And he was like, I don't think so, whatever. So I came up, I don't remember what I came up. I know we was going to stay, but I came upstairs and honey, I left. Okay. I was in a relationship and everything at the time, but me and the guy, we was in, you know, but I came upstairs and I left. And I had got my son. This is how well I remember this story. I got my son this strawberry, what is it? Quick something, Nesquik, because he loved those strawberry Nesquik drinks, the milk. And we started driving back out and stuff. And I came across this video. That's why, like, when you ready for the answers to be revealed to you, oh, the universe gonna show out. Oh, God gonna show you. God is going, let me tell you something. God is gonna show you. And I was driving and I came across this video with rapper B.O.B. I always tell his story. And during the video, it was like something I never heard before. Like how he was dropping it. And I didn't know at that time, like he was working with Bobby Hemmick. Okay. And some of you guys may not even know who, I don't know if you guys know who Bobby Hemmick is. But Bobby Hemmick, he would talk about metaphysics and he would talk about science. And he would talk about a bunch of stuff. Okay. Maybe you should look Bobby Hemmick up. I'm quite sure probably they still got teachings on him on here. But I remember I was listening to rapper B.O.B. and oh my goodness, like it was like something I never heard before. He was talking about everything. He was talking about chakras, kundalini. He was talking about pineal gland. He was talking about metaphysics. He was talking about meditation. And my therapist, she said something about meditation, but when she said, she was like, well, they got something on YouTube that you can listen to when you get like this, right? And I just was like, I don't listen to, none of those things. Here I am doing the same exact thing and hoping and looking for something new to occur. But I keep doing the same exact thing. And she was like, yeah, but they got stuff on there that you can listen to that, it'll help calm you, relax you and stuff like that. Honey, well, when you are tired and when you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, let me tell you something, you will run to the meditation because that's exactly what I did, honey. I meditated after I heard rapper B.O.B. I said, you know what, this is it. Because what else? What else is there? And I meditated. I started meditating, felt so excited, felt like, I get to change my life because this was the first time. Sometimes you feel like your life has to stay that way, but it does not have to stay that way. I am telling you. Okay, this is at first I heard it, but this is something that I live by. Your life do not have to stay that way. It does not. I don't care what it is, what it looked like. I don't care. Remember, these eyes are a limited vision. Okay. In our eyes, it just picks up based upon the brain. So you got to understand that whatever it is that you're looking at in your life, it is not here to stay. It is not here to break you. Okay. You are so powerful and you have the power to do something different. Do it afraid. Many times I'm doing something new, honey, I'm a little nervous, okay? But I trust it. And that's why I do it, because I trust it. See, some of you guys feel like, well, I'm not supposed to be afraid because somebody told you that. They say, it's nothing for you to fear. And those was legitimate fears that you may have. You picked them up from someone, but those still was legitimate fears. And so I'm not saying, just to use that as a cop out. I'm saying that to say you got to look at those fears and you still have to do the thing. You still have to do it. One person I absolutely love, Lisa Nichols, who grew up in Compton. Okay. She is so successful. And I remember I went to go see Lisa Nichols at her Speak to Write to Make Millions in San Francisco. But I remember I was so inspired by her story that I caught the flight to California by myself. I was so driven to get out my comfort zone. I caught the flight I didn't know nobody, okay? But I wanted it. And that's the thing. Do you want it? Do you really want change? You know how you know if you want change? If somebody recommends something, and if you see that they are happy, successful, their health is really good, right? And if you see that they are those things, finances is really good. If you see that they have like all four, then and they recommend something, then chances you need to listen. Because if you don't, like my mentor, Bob Proctor, I remember when I first, and all of it, that's what I'm saying. All it is led to something. Listening to Rapper B.O.B., that one video, well, it was a few videos. And then the next day, I felt a little confident. I was like confident, right? And I remember I was in the supermarket getting some stuff because he was talking about, vegan and plant-based and stuff like that. And then I did the plant-based thing and stuff. And then after that, it was like I began to get sedated with information based upon personal development. YouTube send you recommendations, videos and stuff like that, suggestions. And that's how I'm seen by Proctor. Now, mind you, I was listening to before Louis Farrakhan, who talked about white people and all this other stuff. And when I seen Bob Proctor, he was white. And when I seen him, I said, and I had $11,000. And I seen him and I said, I don't know, but this white dude, he looked very well off. That's what I said. I said that. That's what I said. I said he looked like he got some money. Okay. He was in a private jet or something. I don't know, but he was in a plane or something. And he was talking so relaxed and confident. And he was saying, like, if you want to change, and he was telling his story, like how he dropped out of high school, or they kicked him out of high school in the 9th grade and all this other stuff. And he was a multimillionaire. And he was talking about law of attraction and all this other stuff. And I was so captivated by that. At first, I just was like, he looked like he got some money, and I wanted to do something different with the money, because I knew if I would have went shopping, brought bags and perfume, I was going to get the same exact results. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do something different. And I invested in myself. That investment was $7,500. And I was willing. And I listened to Bob Proctor. He would get on the Zoom call. It was a few other people. It was other people on there too. But I listened to him. And up until this day, I listen to Bob Proctor every morning. When I tell you I am a disciplined student, very disciplined. I don't miss a day. Not a day goes by that I don't listen to personal development. Every day. And that's how you know if you want it. If you want your life to change. Every day. Now, some people, they listen to it one day and they think they have it figured out and stuff like that. I'm not one of those some people. Okay. I listen to it. I read. And that's how I'm able to do these videos. That's exactly how. Okay. All right. So with that being said, family, I got to upload. I got to upload the rest of these videos. Another thing, when you're going through changing your life, let me warn you, because I don't want to make it seem like it's just unicorns and rainbows, because it's not by far. When you make the decision and commit yourself to wanting better, to doing something different, and you start changing, you may be so excited that you want to tell everybody else around you. You want to tell your mother, you want to tell your father, you want to tell your friends, your sisters, your brother. You want to tell people, because you don't have to stay there. And you're so excited. Well, some people, they're not going to be so receptive of that information. The information that I just told you guys about, they're not going to be so receptive to it. Because when you start changing, there's a part where as though, and it's not you being cocky or anything like that, but the people around you, they're not ready for change, so to speak. And it's not that they don't want change. They don't want to be forced to change. And so in order for them to continuously be around you, they're going to have to change. In the words of Reverend Ike, he says, if I can't bring you up, you will not bring me down. And I live by that. Okay. And at first, you may feel like, I want to help them, right? I want them to know that they don't have to continuously live this way. They can live a different way. Everybody is not ready to change because you got sick and tired of being sick and tired of the way your life was going. And sometimes it may cause arguments. It may cause separation. It may cause all types of conflict. Because when you show up, it's like you showing them up for the frauds that they pretending to be. It's almost like you ain't even got to say nothing. You ever went somewhere and then the family members probably, they always talk about you or whatever it is like that. You just go there. It's almost like you bring something out of them. And one of the things that I want you to understand and get is this. You're gonna have to change your environment. If you see it's to the point where as though it's causing conflict, like I remember my mother, she used to say, like when I first started this, like and doing the videos and stuff, which definitely was, although I would be dressed up and laid and slayed to the gods, honey, I was scared to come on camera. Okay, I was scared. I seen one person that I grew up with. I said, "Oh my goodness, how could she go on?" She was on Facebook Live. I never forgot. I said, "How could she be on there like that?" And although my hair was slayed, and honey, I still felt some type of way. I still felt like I could not come on camera like that. And it's so funny because I came on camera in my natural state, like my hair was like this. Okay. I drew the makeup I used to have. Well, it still was in my bathroom, but I wasn't using no makeup. But because sometimes in life you're gonna have to lose your mind to come to your senses. Sometimes in life is like that, and I got that from Infinite Waters. Sometimes in life, you're going to have to lose your mind to come to your senses. And what do I mean by that? In the Bible, it says renew of the mind. You got to renew your mind because the stuff that's in there is getting you the results that you say you don't desire to have. And so you got to do something different. And that difference, mainly what it is you don't want to give up control. That's why so many people don't do anything different, because they don't want to give up control. See, what it's like to keep doing the same exact thing. You know exactly what results going to be produced. But when you don't know, right? When you don't know if the light is at the end of the tunnel, then that's when is a certain type of way. You don't want to give up control. So many people don't want to give up control. And I remember my mother said to me one day, she said, and we was just talking, and she said, Dina, everybody can't change like you. And that's a lie. That is a lie. That is a lie. That is a lie. That's a lie. Because anybody can change. Anybody can change. Change isn't just for certain people. And that's another thing. We have this notion that, only certain people are God's favorite and all this other. That all of those are lies. All of it. Well, maybe you believe it, but I don't believe any of that, because I know according to universal law, all right, You are going to get exactly what you are. That's it. It doesn't matter your skin color. It doesn't matter where you grew up at. It doesn't matter your background. None of those things matter. Only thing that matters is your energy, your emotions. How you feeling? Your energy, your vibration, your frequency. That's exactly what matters. And if you keep doing the same, you're gonna get the same. And I don't care if you white, black, purple, yellow. I don't care what color you are. You're going to get the same. That's it. So, with that being said, I love you guys. I catch you guys on the next one. Keep rocking out, keep believing in yourselves, and keep on going. Peace.